All right, today we are doing our Unit 2 study guide. The test will be 1 week from today on October 10th. Number 1 says select all fractions that are equivalent to 3/12. So, how do you figure out if a fraction is equivalent to another fraction? What is a strategy that I have taught you? Emma. Yes, Emma, put yourself down for a point. Cross multiplying. So what I want you to do right now is next to all of these fractions, I want you to write 3/12. 3/12. Give yourself some space in between. And the way I've shown you how to cross multiply, I've been doing circles to circle them what we're doing. Not going to do that this time because it makes a big mess. And it's kind of hard to see. So let me show you what I'm going to have you do when you cross multiply. Instead of drawing circles, I want you to draw an arrow that goes from 4 up to 3. What is 4 times 3? Shout it out. 12. What is 1 times 12? 12. Since both of those are 12, that means those two fractions are equivalent. Okay, so circle A. All right, make sure you're writing down everything I am because this is going to be basically your answer key for when you're studying. Okay, next. 8 times 3? 24. And 12 times 2? 24. Whoa. Those numbers are equal, so 2 8s and 3 12s are equivalent. Okay, next we have 2 11ths and 3 12ths. What is 11 times 3?
33.
And what is 12 times 2? 24. Those two fractions are not equal, so C is out. Not equivalent. Okay? On D, this one's pretty simple to see because where's the bigger number on this fraction? Top. Where's the bigger number on this fraction? Bottom. To be equivalent, they have to be the same. The bigger number needs to be on the same spot. So that is out. But you can also cross multiply for consistency and you will get 48 and 3. Okay. Last one. 20 times 3. If you have trouble with that, guys, do the 2 times 3 first. And that gives you 6. And then add the 0 behind it. 60. So 20 times 3, 20, 40, 60. And 12 times 5, 60. So those are equivalent as well. I will tell you that if there are 3 correct answers, Evan, this is important. If there are 3 correct answers on number 1 on your study guide, chances are pretty good on the test there'll be 3 correct answers also. They might be scrambled, but so keep that in mind. Okay, next it says select all the fractions that are greater than half but less than 1 whole. That's just, don't worry about that. Okay. That's a thing on the phones that if somebody accidentally hits it, it makes that noise. So somebody just accidentally did that. Select all fractions that are greater than half but less than 1 whole. So we have to check these for 2 things, right, Autry? Okay. 4/5. Let's start with greater than half. Is 4 out of 5 greater than half?
No.
Yes.
So think about, you got a pizza and it's got 5 slices, and you eat 4. Did you eat more than half that pizza?
Yes.
Absolutely, because half of 5 is what?
2.5.
2.5. And since 4 is bigger than 2.5, then 4/5 is greater than 1/2. Is it less than 1 whole?
Yes.
Yes. How come, Jackson?
Because if it's 1 whole, you'd have 5 over 5.
The bigger number has to be where for it to be bigger than 1 whole?
On top.
On top, yeah. So 4/5 meets both our requirements, Zarelda. We're gonna circle it. And our proof is gonna be that 4/5 is greater than half, and 4/5 is less than 5/5, which is 1 whole. Write that down, all of what I'm writing. Okay, now letter B says 1/3. What is half of 3? Avis, put your water bottle down. Okay, we're not holding it with our mouth. Mary, what is half of 3? 1.5. So is 1/3 more or less than half, Mary? Less. Good. Okay, so 1/3 is less than 1/2. So it's out because we're looking for fractions greater than half. Okay. Next, what's half of 4? Jackson?
2.5.
Half of 4.
Oh, 2.
Just 2, right? And if you have 5, it would be?
3. Yeah.
No, I'm not asking what half of 5 is. So half of 4 is 2. So would 5 out of 4 be more or less than half? More than half. Is 5/4 less than 1 whole, Jackson?
No.
No. So
It's
it
going over 4.
exactly. So we gotta cross it out. 5/4 is greater than half, but 5/4 is also greater than 1 whole. Keep copying. All right. Next we have 4/7. What would half of 7 be, Avis?
3.5.
3.5. So would 4/7 be more than half, Avis?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And so 4/7 is greater than half. And is 4/7 less than 1 whole?
Yes.
Ari? Yes. So 4/7 is less than 1 whole. It meets both the requirements, so it is, we mark it. Last one, 5/10. What's half of 10? Evan?
5.
5. Is 5/10 then greater than half? You are not Evan. No, because it's what? It's equal, right? It's equal to half, okay? So it's out because 5/10 isn't greater than half, it's equal to half. You with me? All right. So you should have circled A and D as being the correct answers for that one. So 5/10 equals half. That's the reason that one's correct. And we've got our reason for all of them. You guys can go ahead and turn the page, but notice that we were looking for fractions greater than half. So 4/5 is greater than half. And 4/7 is greater than half. They also had to be less than a whole. So 4/5 is less than 5/5 or 1 whole. And 4/7 is less than a whole. So the ones, do you see how the symbols are for the ones that work? They're kind of back to back. All right, Number 3. Which fraction is less than 3/5? How can we figure this out? Evan?
You can check. Wait, you can cross multiply.
Yes. We're going to cross multiply. So all the way down next to 5/7, we're going to write 3/5 because we're looking for a fraction that's less than or smaller than 3/5. So we're going to write 3/5 right here. Every time I set my hand down. No. There we go. 3/5 right here. 3/5 right here. And 3/5 right here. Okay. So 7 times 3. Don't draw the lines, that makes it harder to see. What is it?
21.
21. 5 times 5.
25.
25. Good, Evan. So 25 is bigger than 21, so 5/7 is greater than 3/5. I'm gonna look back at the problem. What am I looking?
Hi, Miss Peterson.
Hi.
Can you send up Zerelda? She is leaving for the day.
Yes, thank you. Switch over that way, please. Okay. Here's Zerelda. Sorry. All right. Grab your binder, and I am going to. You're gonna need to watch the video on the study guide to finish your study. Okay. And you're gonna have 2 days of objectives. Okay. All right. Have a good night. Okay. Oh no. I took my pen with me. Hold on. Okay. 6 times 3.
18.
18. 5 times 4. 20. 20 is greater than 18, so 4/6 is greater than 3/5. This is what I was saying before. I look back up and I'm looking for a fraction that is less than 3/5. So 3/5 would, the mouth would be open towards 3/5. Is the mouth open towards 3/5?
No.
Is the mouth open towards 3/5? No. So that's what we're looking for, right?
We circle A and B.
No, because neither one of them fit the requirement. We're looking for, it says which fraction, so just one answer, is less than 3/5. These are both greater. Does that make sense? Okay. 15 times 3. Shout it out.
45.
45. And 5 times 9?
45.
45. So those are equal. So that one's out as well. So A's out, B's out, C's out. So hopefully D has our answer. Let's see. What is 12 times 3?
36.
36. And 7 times 5?
35.
35. 35 is less than 36. So the mouth, the opening, the bigger side is open towards 3/5, which means 7/12 is less than 3/5. So our correct answer is D. All right. Next, it says list 3 different fractions that are equivalent to 4/5. Do this now. 4/5 times something equals a new fraction. Then write it again. 4/5 times something equals a new fraction. And 4/5 times something equals a new fraction. Now we need to plug those in. So we can multiply by whatever we want, as long as it's the same thing on top and bottom. Athena, what do you want to use?
2.
2. If we do it to the top,
You do it to the bottom.
so what is 4 times 2?
8.
And 5 times 2?
10.
10. Put a box around that. That is your first equivalent fraction to 4/5. Harbor, what do you want to multiply by now? 5s. If we do it to the top,
You do it to the bottom.
so 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5 is
25.
So 20 25ths is equivalent to 4/5. What do you want to multiply by now, Macy? 4. If we do it to the top,
You do it to the bottom.
4 times 4.
16.
5 times 4,
20.
20. Put a box around that. You on your test, you don't have to do 2, 5, and 4. You can do whatever numbers you want except 1 and 0. Because if you multiply 4/5 times 1 over 1,
It'll be 4/5.
it'll be 4/5. 4/5 is not equivalent to 4/5. It's the same. And then if you multiply by 0 over 0, you'll get 0, 0, which is not equivalent to 4/5. Okay. Elena says that 3/5 and 6/10, Autry, are not equivalent because there are twice as many parts in 6/10. Do you agree with Elena? No. Doubling the numerator and denominator makes the fractions equivalent. Because it's the top and the bottom that are doubled, it's equivalent. So this is what you're going to write down on that one. No. We do not agree with Elena. Doubling the numerator and denominator makes the fractions equivalent. All right. So if we look at that closer, guys, it's 3/5 and 6/10. What's 3 doubled?
6.
And 5 doubled?
10.
10. So we know those are equivalent. Alina said they weren't. We know they are. Okay. Third page. List these fractions from smallest to largest. Explain how you found the order. Okay, here's our little key. This is what we did yesterday. So, if the fraction is less than half, what goes next to it? Jackson?
A minus.
A minus, yes. Write yourself down for a point. If the fraction is equal to half, what goes next to it? Hazel? An equal sign, yes. Put yourself down. For a point. Not put yourself down. I'm terrible. What do you put for a fraction that is greater than half? Devin?
A plus sign.
A plus sign. And what do you put for a fraction that is greater than 1 whole? Colton?
2 plus signs.
A double, yes. Okay. All right, so let's look at these fractions. What do you know about that first fraction, 7 over 4? What does it need? Evan? Okay. Macy?
A plus sign?
Nope. Mary?
Double plus sign?
Double plus sign. Do you see how the bigger number's on the top? That means that it is greater than 1 whole.
Because it's going over 4, which is over 1 whole.
Exactly. So we need a double plus sign. There's not really room to write it above them, so I'm going to write it out to the side of them. Double plus. Okay. Fisher, what about 7/12? What does it need? Just 1 plus. That's correct. Because half of 12 is 6, and 7 is bigger than that. So a single plus side. All right, the next fraction that we have is 3/8. Devin, what's this one need?
An equal sign?
No,
No.
3's not half of 8. Cameron?
A minus.
A minus sign because half of 8 is what? Half of 8.
3.
No? What's half of 8, Cameron? You got it. Listen to my question. You got 8 cookies. Your grandma says you can have half of them. How many do you get?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, you get 4. 4 is half of 8. So 3/8, you're right, would need a minus sign. Okay? Because it's less than half. Okay? What about 13/6? Haziel. Double plus. Double plus. I like saying that. Double plus. Okay. And what about 1/4? Ari. A minus sign. Okay. So look at what we have here. We have 2 minus signs, a plus sign, and 2 double pluses. So, which fractions, so we're supposed to put them in order, what do the directions say, from smallest to largest? Smallest to largest, okay? And the fractions that have the minus sign are both less than half. So they're less than half of a pizza. So think about what these sizes mean. Less than half, exactly half, greater than half, or greater than 1 whole. Think about those as amounts of pizza, okay? So which would be the small, or how are we gonna decide which is the smallest? What do we need to do, Jackson?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply which 2 fractions?
1/4 and 3/8.
Exactly right. Those are our 2 smallest, right? Those are both less than half. So we gotta cross multiply them to see. So we're gonna do 1/4 and 3/8. So 3 times 4, shout it out. 12. 8 times 1, 8. 8 is less than 12, so that means 1/4 is less than 3/8. So which is our very smallest fraction? Emma? Yes, 1/4. So first place goes to 1/4 as being the smallest. Okay? What's our second place fraction then, Autrey?
3/8.
Yes, 3/8 comes in next because those 2 were competing for smallest. We cross multiplied, figured out who gets smallest, who gets next smallest. What comes next, Fisher? Why do you think 7/4? 7/12. How do you know?
Because
Avis? What comes next?
7/12.
How come?
Because it's the only one that has more than half.
It's more than half,
I
but
haven't-
less than
I have
one
another-
whole.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the only one with a single plus sign, Fisher. So remember, the double pluses are the double pluses, the big ones, right? So we go minus, plus, double plus. Okay? All right. So we've got the minus ones out of the way. Now we put down the single plus, which is 7/12. And then we're left with two double pluses. How do we decide which goes next and which goes last? Cameron? How do we figure it out? What strategy do we use? No, you can't say you think, you don't know. You gotta have a reason. You can't just guess. So what are we gonna do? We've got two fractions, Cameron, that have double plus signs. What are we gonna have to do? Emma? Jackson? Cross multiply. We gotta cross multiply. Okay? So we're gonna cross multiply 13/6 and 7/4. Just like we cross multiplied our two minus fractions. We cross multiply our two double pluses. 6 times 7.
42.
42. 4 times 13.
32.
52.
Oh.
52 is greater than 42. So 13/6 is greater than 7/4. So which fraction comes next in the smallest to largest? Devin?
13/6.
No, it's the biggest. Okay? So we're going in order from smallest to biggest. So the smaller of the two is 7/4, right? So we're gonna put 7/4 next to 7/12. And then our biggest is 13/6. So we're gonna put our less than symbols all the way across. I do want you, for studying purposes, to copy down the two cross multiplying. So 3/8 and 1/4. 8 times 1 was 8. 4 times 3 was 12. 12 is bigger, so 1/4 was our smallest. Then we cross multiplied 7/4 and 13/6. 13 times 4 was 52. 6 times 7 was 42. 52 is bigger, so 13/6 is bigger. Okay? All right, we might need to practice some more of those. Okay. It's what I've got written right here. All right, for each fraction, write an equivalent fraction with the given denominator. Some students in the other classes were trying to skip out on part of the writing today, and I am checking it before I put it in your binder. So, for each fraction, write an equivalent fraction with the given denominator. So none of these are doubled. So we've got to figure out how to get from 2 to 12. What do you multiply 2 times to get 12? Ari? 6. And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
so everybody write a little tiny times 6 and a little tiny times 6. And what does 1 times 6 equal? 6. Okay, you with me? Don't forget that multiplying. Last year, a lot of students did this. I'll show you on the next one. What do you multiply 3 times to get 24? Anybody? Mary. 8. And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
okay. Lots of students last year, guys, wrote 8 right here on the test. Do you see what they did?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So because this first one had a 6 and a 6 times 1, they thought you go 8, 8, 8. But what should it be instead of 8 right here, Colton?
16.
16, yes. Okay. So by pointing out their mistakes, I'm hoping to avoid you guys making those mistakes. Just remember, you're figuring out what to multiply by on the top. Okay, what do you multiply 5 times to get 35? Shout it out.
7.
And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
and 6 times 7 equals
42.
42. Notice on both of those, the bigger number is on top. So the bigger number's on top here, so that means in an equivalent fraction, it will be bigger on top as well. Okay, what do you multiply 7 times to get 28?
4.
And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
and what is 5 times 4?
20.
20. All right, and one more. What do you multiply 8 times to get 32?
4.
4. And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
and what is 7 times 4?
28.
28. Very good. Okay. So, we're going to hustle through this last one. It says Noah and Lynn drew different geometric designs on the same size rectangular paper and colored the designs. 4/10 of Noah's design is blue. How can you describe the size of the fraction? So how can you describe that fraction? What's it look like? Avis?
It's less than half.
It is less than half, you're right. But what's it look like if you see a picture of it? What's it look like? If you see a picture of 4/10, what do you see?
A square.
Jackson?
Like a fraction.
Mary? 4 shaded out of how many?
10.
Total. It's okay, so that's why we go through this, so I can explain. They're wanting to know how you could describe the size of the fraction if you're seeing it. So you're gonna see 10 total squares or 10 total sections with 4 of them shaded, right? All right, so here's what we're gonna write. Maybe. My pen died. Give me a minute. And don't get ahead of me on drawing the model yet, because I'm gonna help you to make sure it's nice and neat. Okay. Here we go. How can you describe the size of the fraction? There are 10 equal sections. And 4 of them are blue. And that's it, right? That's what 4/10 looks like. That's how you would describe it. Next it says that Lynn did 5/12 blue, and we're gonna sketch what hers might look like. So the first thing that we need to do is split it down the middle, and then we're gonna do sections that are about this big. When you get finished, make sure that you've got 12 sections. And we need to shade in how many?
5.
5. We're doing this one. Okay, whose design has more blue? Lynn's or Noah's? So for Noah, we're gonna write his name with his fraction, which is 4/10, right? And then for Lynn, we're gonna write her fraction, which is 5/12. Then to see whose has more blue, we're gonna cross multiply. And when we do that, we get 48 for Noah and 50 for Lynn. So since 50 is bigger, Lynn has more blue because 5/12, that's Lynn's number, is greater than 4/10. And that is it. Let me stop this.